Welcome to TI Cold's job site. We are committed to cultivating and maintaining a safe work environment for our employees, subcontractors, workers, and visitors on our sites. Subcontractor foreman. As a subcontractor working at our site, we expect you to help us maintain a safe work environment. To help us do so, we are providing this safety orientation video that includes safety guidelines for our job site. Number 1. Check in at the job trailer. Meet TI Cold's project manager. Watch this safety orientation video. Receive pertinent paperwork. Number 2. Sign a sworn statement that you'll agree to enforce the viewing of the safety orientation video with your employees. Number 3. Each of your employees must report to the job trailer after they have viewed and understood this safety orientation video. Subcontractor employee. Employees will acknowledge having viewed and understood this safety orientation video. Each employee will be issued a hard hat decal that must be placed on the right side of their hard hat in plain view. Employees must wear a hard hat at all times while on site. Spot checks may happen at any time to verify safety training certification. Failure to be certified may result in a violation citation. Subcontractor general. The subcontractor shall ensure that all project work performed is conducted in accordance with the following. Number 1. Existing OSHA regulations, provisions of 219 CFR 1910 and 29 CFR 1926, and state and local safety, health, and environmental laws and regulations. Number 2. Appropriate HAZWOPER training and practices in accordance with the current project status and job at hand. Number 3. Applicable ANSI, NEC, NEPA, and industry consensus standards. Number 4. Applicable safety and health requirements of the facility in which the work is being performed. Number 5. Established good manufacturing practices in force at the facility. The subcontractor must establish and provide an applicable safety program related to the scope of the work to be performed that complies with OSHA and other statutory requirements. Background checks and past history citations for all subcontractors and employees will be reviewed on OSHA.gov. Here are the 10 most cited OSHA violations: scaffolding, hazard communication, fall protection, respiratory protection, lockout tagout, powered industrial trucks, electrical wiring methods, components, and equipment, machine guarding, ladders and stairways, excavations. 18-point safety checklist, Toolbox talk meetings. Weekly safety meetings known as Toolbox talks take place on site, typically on Tuesday mornings unless otherwise noted. All site foremen are expected to attend these meetings and then discuss the topics covered with their employees working on site. The topics include inclement weather, hard hats, trenching and excavation, steel erection, panel erection, operation of heavy equipment, concrete pours, ladder and stairway safety, fall protection, personal protective equipment, use of hand and power tools, material handling, hazardous materials, scaffolds, fire protection and safety, fire extinguisher program, confined space, electrical safety, GFCI protected cords, ammonia safety, bloodborne pathogen, lockout tagout, hot work permit, emergency procedures, personnel injury reporting, housekeeping, heat exhaustion, fatigue, heat stroke, staying hydrated, etc. Accident reporting. On TI Cold job sites, accident reporting is everyone's responsibility. In the event of an accident, any subcontractors involved in the accident or any who witnessed the accident are required to report it to the TI Cold project management team within 24 hours. Number 1. Ensure the area where the accident occurred is safe to remain in. Number 2. Administer first aid, CPR, and/or call for emergency medical assistance as required. Number 3. Note the following to be used for a formal accident investigation: individual or individuals involved, the name, the company, etc. Date, time, and location of accident, cause of the accident if known, name and company of any witnesses to the accident. Number 4. Report the accident to TI Cold's project management team immediately, no later than within 24 hours. Project management team. Familiarize yourself with the TI Cold project management team on this job site. They will be available to answer any questions about the safety policies and guidelines. Site Disaster Plan, Emergency Contacts. A site disaster plan that also contains emergency contact information and a map to the nearest emergency medical facility are posted in the job site office trailer. This includes site disaster job trailer location, local emergency, poison control, police department, fire department, and nearest hospital. No smoking. TI Cold's on-site project management team will inform you of the designated smoking area upon request. Please note that this area may change location at any time during the course of construction on this project. Hard hat requirements. Employees must wear hard hats at all times while on site. The safety certified decal must be clearly seen on the right side of the hard hat. Safe zone locations. The safe zone is co-located with the designated smoking area and is available for resting and lunch breaks. In the unlikely event of an emergency, all employees are required to report to the safe zone, and each trade foreman will conduct a head count of their employees and report to the TI Cold project management team. Lockout tagout procedures. Any hazardous energy sources must be locked out and tagged out to prevent serious injury. Lockout. Physically disable and isolate malfunctioned or improperly working equipment or electrical sources. Notify a TI Cold representative. Tagout. Warn others of the hazard. Notify a TI Cold representative. Device must not be operated until the device is removed. The person who installed the tagged out device must also remove it. Safe excavations. All excavations must be supervised by a competent person. Before any excavation, the subcontractor must determine underground installations, remove any overhead hazards, and have a soils classification conducted by a registered professional engineer. Beware of excavation hazards. Cave-ins. There is no warning prior to a cave-in. Ensure the excavation is correctly designed with the correct slopes and bench systems and supports or shields. Heavy equipment. Do not operate heavy equipment over or near an excavation. Falls. Protect employees from falls with the proper personal protective equipment and properly barricading unattended excavations 5 feet back from the edge of the excavation. Hazardous atmosphere. Test and monitor the excavation trench for low oxygen, hazardous fumes, and toxic gases. Watch for water accumulation. Lack of egress. Means of egress should be within 25 lateral feet of workers in trenches that are 4 feet deep or more. A stairway, ladder, or ramp must be present in excavations. Structural instability. Review the structure for stability if excavation is below the base of the building, equipment pad foundations, or below retaining wall footings. Unidentified utilities. Call before you dig. Contact the local utility company for underground utility locations. Document those locations on the proper forms. Water accumulation. Water can cause sloughing of excavation sidewalls, making for unsafe conditions and causing an electrocution hazard if electrical equipment is being used. Fall protection. The subcontractor is responsible for providing OSHA-approved personal fall arrest systems for its employees. A proper personal fall arrest system must be worn when working on ladders, scaffolding, scissor lifts, decks, roofs, anything above 6 feet. When an employee is tied off, the maximum freefall distance should not exceed 6 feet. Be aware of any lower levels an employee may come in contact with in case of a fall. Body belts are prohibited. A full body harness is required. Before each use of your personal fall arrest system, employees must inspect the harness, lanyard, and snap hooks for wear or potential malfunction. Fall protection is needed when an employee is working on or around the following situations. Please note, this is a list of examples, and it is not all-inclusive. Wall openings must be protected by use of a guardrail system, safety net system, or personal fall arrest system. Holes 6 feet or more in depth require the use of a guardrail system, covers, or personal fall arrest system. Leading edges 6 feet or more above lower levels must be protected by a guardrail system, safety net system, or personal fall arrest system. Excavations 6 feet or more in depth must be protected by a guardrail system, fence, barricade, or cover. formwork, and reinforcing steel. Fall protection must be used when climbing or otherwise moving at a height of more than 6 feet. This is a TI Cold policy. Hoist areas. A guardrail system or personal fall arrest system for each employee must be used on a hoist when 6 feet or more above lower levels. If employees must lean through access opening to receive equipment or material, a personal fall arrest system must be worn. Overhead bricklaying and related work. An employee working 6 feet or more above lower levels must be protected by a guardrail system, safety net system, or personal fall arrest system, or shall work in a controlled access zone. Precast concrete erection. Each employee working 6 feet above lower levels must be protected by a guardrail system, safety net system, or personal fall arrest system. Ramps, runways, and other walkways. Each employee must be protected from falling 6 feet or more by a guardrail system. Low slope roof. An employee working on a low slope roof with unprotected sides and 6 feet or more above lower levels must be protected by a guardrail system, safety net system, personal fall arrest system, or a combination of a warning line system and any of the above, or a warning line system and safety monitoring system. Steep roof. A steep roof with unprotected sides and edges of 6 feet or more above lower levels must be protected by a guardrail system with toe boards, safety net system, or personal fall arrest system. Controlled access zones must be set up when certain types of work are authorized, such as overhead bricklaying, to take place when workers are permitted to work without the use of conventional fall protection systems to protect the employees working in the zone, and access to the zone is controlled. Fall protection systems authorized for use on TI Cold's job sites are guardrail systems, personal fall arrest systems, positioning device systems, safety monitoring systems, safety net systems, warning line systems, covers, protection from falling objects. Hot work permit. A hot work permit is in effect for 24 hours and is required for these areas and conditions: welding, burning, flammable liquids or dust, explosion-proof electrical areas, spark-producing operations. Hot work zone preparations. Drain and flush any flammable liquid and gas lines prior to work. Air monitoring is required for flammable or combustible gases and dust. Provide appropriate fire protection and extinguishers. Trained fire watch is required. Fire watch requirements. Overhead work. 1 at work level, 1 below work level. Fire extinguisher required at each level. Fire watch will continue until all glowing embers are extinguished. Fire watch will continue for a minimum of 30 minutes after work is completed. End of work. Hot work area will be inspected 30 minutes after completion of the fire watch. A new hot work permit must be reissued to commence work after 24 hours. If hot work is performed in a different location than the original permit, a new permit is required. Fire extinguishers. Hot work zones. Subcontractor must provide fire extinguishers and fire protection equipment. At least 2 fire extinguishers rated at least 20 BC within 10 feet of welding and cutting operations. Roofing work. Only 1 day's supply of flammables on the roof during working hours. All flammables must be removed from the roof at the end of the workday. At least 2 fire extinguishers rated at least 20 BC where flammables are present. Readily available in clear view and reach of the immediate work area. Safe flammable handling. Flammable liquids and materials must be stored in an approved enclosure, minimum of 25 feet from any building. No more than 1 day's supply may be handled inside a building. Liquids in approved safety cans no larger than 5 gallons. No more than 25 gallons inside any facility without being stored in an approved storage cabinet. GFCI electrical. Subcontractor must use ground fault circuit interrupters, GFCI, on all electrical circuits. All extension cords must be GFCI protected, grounded, and rated for hard surface, sufficient amp capacity. Look for UL approval on all extension cords. Do not use worn or frayed electrical cords or cables. Do not fasten extension cords with staples, hang from nails, or suspend by wires. Locate extension cords out of traffic paths and secure in place with duct tape. Citations and safety violations. Step 1. TI Cold reserves the right to issue a safety citation form and to document and report to the site foreman or the subcontractor's company any safety violation by a subcontractor on site. Step 2. A safety violation by a subcontractor or its employee will result in corrective action taken based on TI Cold's safety policy. If a violation is deemed severe, it may result in the employee being removed from TI Cold's job site pending review of the incident with his or her site supervisor. Step 3. In the event of continued safety violations by a subcontractor or its employees, TI Cold reserves the right to remove the subcontractor from the job site as well as cancel the subcontract agreement or purchase order. Safety cameras. Be aware that TI Cold has safety cameras on every job site to help ensure job progress and safety compliance. Clean job site. Subcontractors must clean up their work debris daily, dispose of all combustible scrap materials, provide dumpsters for scrap and trash. They may not use TI Cold waste containers. Keep all exits and access ways clear. Maintain site storage, parking, and temporary facilities in a neat, orderly manner. Keep designated smoking areas and safe work zone area clean. Dispose hazardous waste off-site. Obtain all permits required by state and local governments for waste disposal. Provide a copy of each permit to TI Cold. TI Cold reserves the right to charge the subcontractors for cleanup services if, after giving a subcontractor 24 hours notice, the area is still not cleaned to TI Cold satisfaction. Safe attitude. At TI Cold, we take safety very seriously. We value each person who is working at our construction site, and we want to ensure that each team member is safe and secure. Thank you for taking time to help us protect everyone by keeping the site safe and clean.